Let's take a brief look at some of the classes we're going to be using. The first one is a product class. This represents a single product. And each property listed here would actually have a get and a set, but I have eliminated those on the slide here just to keep things simple. But you can see we have a product ID, we have a name, we have a color, we have a standard cost, a list price, and a size for each product. We're then going to have a product repository class. Now, this is a class that we're going to use to retrieve a collection of product data. So this method called getAll would normally be retrieving all the products from a data source. I'm going to be using hard-coded values for this course. So as you can see, I'm just creating a new product, and then I fill in all of the properties with some data. There's only one listed here on the slide, but obviously there would be a lot more in the actual class itself. Another class that we have in our class libraries is ViewModelBase. Now this is a base class that's going to be used by the samples ViewModel class, which you're going to use to write all of your queries. Now it has a method to retrieve the set of product objects. It simply calls that product repository.getAll. It has a method to retrieve a set of sales order objects as well. So we have a sales order class, just like a product class. We have a sales order repository to get a list of sales order objects. Finally, we have a whole set of overloaded methods called display. And the display is used to display a product, a list of products, a sales order list, as well as many other different kinds of lists, string, decimal, and things like that. Now the class you're going to be using, and what I'm going to use to illustrate all of the link functionality, is called the samples ViewModel. It inherits from the ViewModelBase, and we're always going to have two methods. One method to illustrate the link query syntax, and one method to illustrate the link method syntax. So for each of these methods, what we're going to have is a method that returns a set of data, like a list of products or list of sales order, maybe even just a string or a decimal value. We're then going to build a collection to query, so we're going to use that getProducts method to fill up our products collection here that's identified list of product. I then have a variable that's going to hold the results. I'm then going to write the query using whatever link methods I'm going to illustrate, and then hopefully you're going to be following along with that as well. And finally, we return the results out of this method. One last file you're going to be interacting with is program.cs. This is the starting point for a Council application. What we're going to do in here is we're going to bring in the link samples namespace, which is what I have named my project. We're going to create an instance of our sample ViewModel class. We're going to call the method that we just have entered our link query into, and then we will display the results in the console window.